Time for question period. Her Majesty's Loyal Opposition Leader.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My question is for the Premier. Premier, today the Ontario Chamber of Commerce released a letter outlining needed changes to your payroll pension tax. Over 150 businesses, including 57 local chambers of commerce and some of the province's largest employers, have signed that letter. They know your payroll tax will kill jobs in Ontario. These employers outlined many of the same concerns that we raised back in April as part of our 5 budget asks. Premier, anyone reading the Chamber's letter would come to the same conclusion we came to long ago, that your pension plan is the wrong way to go. So I ask you, will you do the right thing and withdraw your damaging pension payroll tax?
Thank you. Premier.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Well, you know, it's interesting because I read that article and I understand that there are questions being asked, but I also know that a fundamental part of the development of this plan is conversation with businesses and individuals around the province. And our Associate Minister of Finance has been doing that work, Mr. Speaker, because that's how good policy gets written. Good policy is written by listening to the people who are on the front lines, Mr. Speaker, listening to the businesses who understand what the impacts will be. But at the end of the day, Mr. Speaker, it is extremely important that people in Ontario, and I would argue across this country, have security in their retirement, that they do not work their lifetime and then retire into poverty, Mr. Speaker. That's what our Ontario Retirement Pension Plan is about, is providing that security for people when they are finished their work life.
Supplementary, the member from York Simcoe.
Speaker, and again to the Premier. Mr. Speaker, currently the Ontario Registered Pension Plan won't exempt employers who offer a defined contribution plan or group RRSPs, even though both plans provide a far higher rate of return. Instead, you're going to punish business owners who already look after their employees' retirements by forcing them to pay yet another burdensome task. Employers can't afford to pay both. We all know they'll cancel the only one they're allowed to cancel, the higher-paying plan they already offer. Brilliant. So again, Premier, before it's too late, will you walk away from the ORPP?
Just walk away.
Premier.
Mr. Speaker, I know that the Associate Minister of Finance is going to want to comment in the supplementary, but Mr. Speaker, the fact is that the vast majority of Ontarians, 77% of Ontarians, support an increase in pension benefits. They know, Mr. Speaker, that what they are being presented with in their retirement, and as they look forward to the retirement of their children and their grandchildren, which is why organizations like CARP, Mr. Speaker, are supportive of, first of all, an enhancement of the Canada Pension Plan, which the federal government has decided not to do, Mr. Speaker. But secondly, if that's not possible, they're supportive of the Ontario government stepping up and taking that action. And Mr. Speaker, those people are living in every riding in this province. Across this province, people are not able to save enough for their retirement, Mr. Speaker. They know that, and they're concerned about their own retirement, and they're concerned about the retirement of their children and their grandchildren.
Minister of Agriculture. Final supplementary.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Speaker. This isn't just a message from the opposition bench. These are some of Ontario's largest employers who have signed this letter. General Motors, Ford, Canadian Tire, Walmart, Magna, the list goes on. There are associations ranging from mining to hospitality, from manufacturers to farmers. There is across-the-board opposition to the Liberal payroll tax. Between skyrocketing energy rates, a looming carbon tax, and your payroll tax, the cost of doing business in Ontario is far too high and is costing jobs. Employers in Ontario—
Minister of Economic Development.
Enough is enough. Premier, why won't you listen
Question?
and withdraw the ORPP bill?
Thank you.
Associate Minister of Finance.
Associate Minister of Finance.
Thank you, Speaker, and I want to thank the members opposite for the question. In fact, Mr. Speaker, we are very much engaged with the Ontario Chamber of Commerce and its members. We've met with dozens of companies and the associations representing those companies, because we know, Mr. Speaker, that pensions are very important, that we know that retirement security is a very important issue in this province. As the Premier has said, 77% of Ontarians believe that enhancements are needed to retirement benefits. Yeah. And, Mr. Speaker, we're taking leadership on this issue. Through the consultations that we've done across this province, we have heard differing views on what is to be deemed as comparable. Some folks would prefer universality, while others would prefer a narrower definition. What's important, Mr. Speaker, is that we're analyzing this feedback and we're going to be making the best decisions for the people of this province.
New question,